I'm presenting on behalf also of Karima, who is co-leader of Working Group 5, and I'm co-leading Working Group 3. I didn't pull out the numbers, but as everywhere in all the presentation we saw, in France it's not an exception. There's a severe underrepresentation of women in computer science and also related scientific areas. But what we see that there's really raising awareness. Nowadays, nearly all departments and institutions that have institute on computer science and STEM-related areas, they have now set up committees on gender balance or equal opportunities. I just put out a very few examples here of what is going on. Something that I really liked was, for instance, at CNRS, there's the Institute for Digital Sciences that edited a kind of a comic book, where I put a photo here, with actually stories about role models of women. So this is actually available and can be downloaded, and they are also moving around with expositions about this, and it's a really great initiative. I am working, for instance, for ENRIA. So one of the things that has not a lot been mentioned, but we have been organizing information days about sexual harassment. We have been doing this nearly on a yearly, every year. There's also a kind of a theater company that comes and is working on these subjects with participants. So this has been very interesting, and also unfortunately showed that there were several situations. Sorry, I shouldn't have moved here. Another example is the computer science department in Rennes, who are running a very successful mentoring program. So it's currently, this has been running for 3-4 years. It's kind of difficult to really measure what is the impact. But what they have noted is, for instance, that they had a real increase in the number of habilitation theses that have been defended by women. And this is actually required for applying for professor afterwards. So there seems to be a correlation nevertheless, and this seems to be working really successfully. There's also been something more political going on in France, is that there has been now, by law, there has been a need to define an equal opportunity multi-annual action plan for each university and also for each research institute. And these plans actually contain very concrete measures on topics like salary equality, make sure that the difference between salaries between men and women is going down, increasing women in managing positions, and many other things. So I actually did contribute to the plan, to this plan for ENRIA. I was in the working group that wrote these things. And so we have very concrete things like the percentage of women that we need to hire in the next years. And the thing is that if the institute is not coming up to these numbers, they will have fines to pay. So this is a very concrete and action. So we'll see how this works out. And I just wanted to talk about very few selected events that have been going on. There are many more in France, of course, but these are a few big events. There was one which is called Women in Science that was in Paris, in the Cité des Sciences. So it's the science city, which is a very big place in Paris, with about 1,000 participants per day. And so there were round tables that were organized, stands with hands-on science and things like that. So I contributed a little bit to this, proposing speakers and things like that. Karima is very active in the Femmes et Sciences, Women and Science Association in Paris, in France, which is a national association, which also did a conference at the Paris City Hall. That was in November. And there was another thing that was organized by Women Hackers Action Tank in October, and Women in Science was also active in this, and there Karima organized, for instance, a workshop on cybersecurity, women in cybersecurity, because that's the area she's working in. So these are kind of very few selected things. I will stop here, otherwise I will be running out of time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Each presentation is giving us new insight. If you wish to know more about the Eugain project, please go on the web on the eugain.eu or ask me or other leader positions in the action. Thank you very much.